Hey there, and hello. Happy Wednesday to you. Thank you so much for joining the live training today. Very excited that you are here on this Wednesday, and we've got Christmas coming up. And so, before I forget, I want to make sure that I wish you a very, very merry, peaceful Christmas. That the day be filled with all the love of God, and that you're really able to just not stress and be at ease with how you go about your day. All right. So I wanted to make sure I got that out the way. But today we're going to be talking about this outline concept that I know you guys have been hearing. And so I specifically want to talk about how you can use and leverage an outline so that you can have more content in your coaching business. Okay. And so for the sake of time, because remember last week I said I'm trying to keep this, I'm trying to not I'm trying to not be all day with these trainings, but I'm gonna try to keep this down to 20-ish minutes. Okay, 25 minutes. Less than 25 minutes. That's the goal. We'll see. But let's talk about outlines, okay? And so first and foremost, we want to make sure that you are very clear on your niche. Okay, for those of you that are newer or just starting out, you can still start an outline even if you're not clear on your niche. You can keep things very broad, but I want you to work on narrowing down for those of you that have been instructed to niche. And you know who's been instructed and who has not, because in some cases, God has said, you know what, look, no, I need you to cast the net. But then for some of you, God is saying, I need you to be very specific and get the lure and go fishing that way. All right. So niche. Also, you want to make sure that you're very clear on what the transformation is for your client. You want to know what it is that you are helping them to achieve at the end of the day. Okay. You want to know who that client is, and you want to make sure that you got some type of an offer, some sort of offer as you go forward creating content utilizing the outline method, if you will. All right. Okay, so you guys, I can slice and dice this many ways. Over in the Impeccable Impact Mentorship community, there is something for them over there related to content, 90 days worth of content in a very short time. But you got to be over in the community to gain access to that. I do want to share with you guys, though, how you are able to create content utilizing outlines in a shorter amount of time as well. Okay. All right, so I'm not going to get down into the weeds, the nitty gritty, but I do want you to have something for those of you that might be feeling overwhelmed with content. And listen, I know you're like, I'm a coach, I don't create content. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Everything is content. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Now, I happen to be a lifestyle management coach. So, a lifestyle coach, meaning that when I go shopping to TJ Maxx, content. When I go out to eat at restaurants, content. When I go get my feet done, content. When I go on a day with my husband, content. And business expense. I'm just saying. But if you are a financial coach, you want to, if you're pulling up to the ATM, you might not, don't show them everything that you're doing, but give a quick little message about what you're doing and why you're at the ATM. Or if you're going shopping for something, or if you spent a large amount of money because you can, because you as a coach have set up your business in such a way and set up your life in such a way now that you are leading by example, share that and record that. Okay. Or I would record it. I'm just leave it at that. Record that. All right. So those are just a couple examples. But yeah, you are definitely a content creator as a coach. I'm just saying, listen. God has been too good for you, for you not to share what he's done. Okay. And he's already told you that you've got to be on social. Listen, you got to be on social media. So you may as well make the most of it and utilize and leverage the content that is available to you. All right. So again, know your niche, the transformation, your client, and the offer that you have for them. Okay. So having all those things in place, we want to create an outline. So yes, I need for you to go back to third grade or fourth grade or fifth grade or whatever grade it was where they helped you create an outline. But I want you to think about these things. Think about the main topics in your niche. Okay. So I'm going to use my coaching as an example. Perfect example. So in my coaching, I help clients get more visible. I talk to them and coach them through the visibility process and visibility methods specific to their coaching niche and their business. I also help them identify who those clients are, of course, and come up with messaging that leads to greater conversions in their business, right? What are the intended outcomes and what are the messages that we can put out there that will help us yield a harvest because we were intentional and strategic. The other thing I help my clients do is come up with more than one offer. What are the different types of offers that you can have in your coaching business? And lastly, how can you have continued profits in your business? So usually when you find me, you're going to find me talking about one of those four things. Now it looks many ways, but you're going to find me talking about one of those four things. Now for me, it's four, but you might have 6 to 8 or 10 main things that you talk about. Okay. So if we have a coach that helps people overcome fears, and we're just going to leave it at that. I'm your fear factor coach, whatever. I'm just putting that one out there. And somebody recognizes, look, I need some help because I'm just so scared about everything and I'm fearful, but I want to be a success in life. And they come to you. So now you can talk to them about fear from success, fear of failure, fear of tangible things that the enemy has strategically put in their mind. See, we're Christians, so I'm going there. You can talk about fear of capacity, fear of capacity, knowing that God has placed a mantle on you and you I can't do it, God, I can't do it. Identifying those things. And I'm just being very hypothetical now, but talk about what are some things, some main ideas in your coaching business that you can speak on. All right. So I want you to identify what those are. All righty. Okay. Now, here's a little bonus. If you got a few extra minutes, okay, a little bonus, I want you to take those main ideas and even break those down. Even break those down if you can. Okay. You don't have to, but break those down. All right. Now, so for every idea, so let me use my first point is I help my clients get more visible. I mean, we're doing this right now. So even in that, let me use this as an example. This is a perfect example of that. So I help my clients get more visible by creating content that resonates with their client, right? That by creating content that is going to speak to what their goal is and the goal of the transformation of the client that they have. So how am I doing that? I now am talking to you about outlining and developing content as a result of a good meaty outline. Okay. And so this is a perfect example of it. So I know that I talk about visibility. What is one way I do that? Let's talk about outlines. I know that I talk about visibility. What's one way of doing that? Last week we talked about Facebook. I know I talk about visibility. So what is one way that we can do that? I talked about Instagram. Okay. How many ways can you talk about that main point that you have? Now, maybe you've got 3, maybe you've got 6, maybe you've got 10, but how many things are related to that main point? Okay. All right. I think we are going to meet the mark. We're going to be okay today. I think we're going to be okay. All righty. So that's that. When you come up with these main points, listen, I got 11 things for you. Okay. 11 things for you to consider. Okay. And maybe even create content around these 11 things. So you've got the main points. And now for each one of the main points or the sub points, whether it's a main point or a sub point, for each one of them, I want you to think of these things. Okay. What are the tools and number one, tools and resources that go with that main thing? So if I'm talking about leveraging, which I did, leveraging Instagram, if you remember a couple weeks ago, I held up my phone. Okay. So if I wanted to, I could talk about how to leverage Instagram just with your cell phone. The 5 top apps I use to leverage Instagram on my cell phone. Listen, I'm creating content right now. Even right now, I'm creating content. All right. So you can talk about the tools and resources. You can also give the how to. That's number 2. Number 3, you can give statistics or data. Go looking, go see what's online. Look, don't overthink this thing. If you see a statistic that says 62% of the narcissistic relationships end in physical abuse, you got a statistic, talk about it. Now, it might not be warm and fuzzy, but talk about it. So number 3 is statistics and data. Number 4, lessons, experiences, things that you have personally experienced experienced as a result of that thing, whether it be positive or negative. But think about what that thing is and the experience that was around it, the lesson that was around it, and what you learned, what you would do different. Okay. Okay, you can talk about that. That's number 4. Number 5, talk about the where and the when of a topic. So, where you would implement something, or where you would consider something, or when you would do it, when it's a good idea, when it's a bad idea. Talk about the mistakes that were made and the takeaway from the major mistake. Yes, I'm a financial coach and I made a mistake by co-signing. Let me tell you about the story about co-signing. Now listen, okay, the levels of coaching here, I hope you guys are getting. So if co-signing happens to be a sub point, what if you had 5 reasons not to co-sign, and co-signing was a sub point, not even a main point, but a sub point, and you have 5 reasons why co-signing is bad. Now you've got, are they called sub points? I don't know. What's after a sub point? I don't know. I'm sure there's a literary word for it, but I have no clue what it is. So talk about the sub point in the sub point. Listen, all of the levels of content that are here. Okay. So talk about those mistakes and what to avoid. Talk about the why it's important that you eat for your blood type. Why it's important that you remember that love is the main ingredient in anything you want to do in life. Why you need to forgive. Why you need to whatever it is that you need to do. Okay? Talk about the why. Then also give your opinion. Give your opinion. Listen, the world says this, but this is how I feel about it. I give that disclaimer a lot. If you've heard any of the content that I do, I give the disclaimer about why I think different, or why, hey, this is my disclaimer. I'm not like other coaches. Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about strategy. Now, I know you might be saying strategy. I get paid for strategy. Yes, 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 yes. However, I maintain that God gives us something new each and every day. And so you can talk about things that are going to help people move forward and get them a quick win. And let me pause and tell you why that's important. If you give somebody a quick win, I would suggest that maybe you have 2 call to actions with that content. A call to action saying, let me know if this worked, and a call to action saying, let's connect, of course. But let me know if this worked, especially with strategy. Or the let's connect would be if they're trying it, it's not working, but you can help them get it to work, then they need to connect with you. But go ahead and give the strategy. You want people to get a quick win so that they can come back and be an ambassador for you and your services. All right. And then I'm saying this is the last one, but this probably should be the first one. What does the word of God say about it? So that could be a scripture, that could be a passage, that could be you reading something, a book of the Bible, or a chapter in the Bible, or something, an article with scripture as a foundation, and you expounding on that. Talk about what the word of God says about that sub point or that point. All right. So that was a lot of stuff. That is a lot of stuff. Now imagine if you take that for each and every point. Okay. Each and every point. All right. And now you are creating an outline about it. Create an outline. So I am flowing. I have no notes or anything like this, but I'm trying in the best of my ability. If you need an example of what an outline looks like, Google it. What does an outline look like? And I'm probably going to come up with some sort of template, but what is your main point? And then what are 4 to 5 or more points that go under that? And that is how you come up with the outline. All right. So come up with outlines that speak to these main points, these sub points. And now you have an opportunity to create unlimited content. I'm going to tell you where you can create this content. Okay. You can create blogs out of these articles, out of these outlines, and articles out of these outlines. And I'm going to tell you, if you create enough blogs and articles, what if you were able to take that and now make a book out of it for you authors out there? Okay. Some of you that are wanting to write a book and you're like, I can't write a book because I don't know. I can't sit down and do it. Well, write articles. So each chapter could be an article, or each point in the chapter could be an article. Boom, bam. Now you got it. All right. Or reverse engineer that thing. If you already wrote a book, take apart your book, take that outline and put some blogs and articles. The reason why I say that is because with articles and blogs, you're generating that SEO juice and you're getting your name out there so that when they Google your name is the first. They're seeing your videos, they're seeing your articles, they're seeing your blogs, they're seeing you on LinkedIn, they're seeing you all over the place, Instagram. Like, okay, you want to be the name. When your name is Googled, your picture should show up. All right. All right. So you can also create other forms of content. You can create long form videos. Take an outline, and now you've got your talking points for a long form video. Okay. Now for the short form video, you can also do the same thing. What I would do for a short form video is say, for instance, the 5 top reasons all relationships, 5 top communication improvements for relationships. Okay, let's go with that. Okay, that could be a short form video. Hey there, if you ever wanted to improve your relationship, see if these 5 if you can implement these 5 things. Number 1, I want you to make sure da 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 da. Number 2, make sure blah 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 blah. Number 3, gotta. Number 4, da 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 da. Number 5, such and such and such and such. How was this for you? Is this something that you can implement? Let me know in the comments. Okay. 30 seconds to 90-second short form video. Now, for long form video, you are going to take those points, those communication points, and you're going to talk about them. You're going to talk about them. And now you got a long form video, which, side note, you can take clips from that, especially if you use stream. I can only speak for StreamYard, but they have a beautiful clip feature. All right. So now you're able to take clips of your long form video and use that for content in other spaces, on TikTok, on Reels, on LinkedIn, on YouTube Shorts. Okay. On Facebook Reels, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Alrighty. So you're able to take your outline and now do a video with it, or videos with it. You're able to take your outline and you can create carousel posts. Now, carousel post on Instagram, in my opinion, should be educational. They should not be entertaining. They should be informative and educational. So that means, if you guys remember, a while ago, I posted a carousel post, and I'm due for another one. And as a matter of fact, there will be another one. But one of my highest rated carousel posts is the one that talks about why everybody should be an author. And I've actually reposted that twice already. It's been reposted twice. I just changed the cover, but highly informational and educational. And so it has gotten saved so many times. So you can take the components of your outline and now create a carousel post, or have somebody create a carousel post for you, so that you are being viewed as an expert and the go-to person when people come to your Instagram feed. On Facebook, what you need to do, listen, this is instruction here for you LinkedIn users that want to do a carousel post. For if you have multiple images, the recommendation is that you download them as a PDF document on Canva, or whatever you use to create it. Download it as a PDF document, not images. Okay. And so when you post it on LinkedIn, now it's being posted as a PDF document, and it's so nice. Okay. And that way, rather than somebody having to click on your profile and look at all the pictures like they do on Facebook, which sucks, they can just scroll through it. Okay. They can just scroll through it, swipe through it. All right. So create that in a PDF document, but you can utilize your outlines for that as well. Okay. And then the other thing is, say you have a picture describing the point that you want to make. Okay. What you can do then is you could take your outline and you can copy and paste that, of course, modify it and format it, but now you can put that in your captions, so that the picture says one thing and you tell them, look at the caption for more, and the caption is full of valuable information for them. So it doesn't always have to be the actual post that they see. Alrighty. So those are just a couple ideas. Let's see. Yeah, those are just a couple ideas. Let me see. I do have some notes, even though I didn't look at them. Um, yeah, so that's what I got. And let's see here. Looks like we are doing great on time today. So not quite, I said 25 minutes, but I really would like these to be about 15 minutes. So do me a favor, let me know what your thoughts are on creating these outlines and how you can best leverage them. Listen, I'm telling you, it's so easy. And content is everywhere. When I'm at church, I've shared this before. When I'm at church and our pastor is going, presenting the sermon, he says like one sentence. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I just got 5 downloads out of that one sentence. And I immediately sitting there with my iPad, I start creating documents or Google Docs outlines so that I can go back to them and expound on them later, which I do. And so take full advantage of those opportunities where you get downloads. I use Google. Okay. I use the Google Suite. So I use the document or a notes feature. But as you get ideas about things that are related to your niche, as you get ideas about things that can be helpful and you can create an outline over it, make sure you capture that and get it. Now, you don't have to sit there and come up with the entire outline, but get enough on there so that you can go back and compose or construct an outline that is going to be helpful for you as you create content in your business. And so you do this again, y'all. You don't have to do this every single day. You don't have to do content every single day. You can sit there, you can batch create content, or listen, better yet, you can repurpose content. You can repurpose the content. And so what looks like a carousel post today could be a long form video tomorrow. What looks like a long form video today could be a LinkedIn article tomorrow. What looks like a LinkedIn article today could be a guest blog on somebody's blog. And I didn't even talk about how you can use these outlines and for talking points on Clubhouse. For talking points when you go up on a stage and you're like, okay, I'm in this room and I have this opportunity. How do I come off like I know what I'm talking about? You better go to your phone and pull up that Google document and start talking from that outline. I'm just saying. Or if you're running your own rooms, you've got talking points. If you have ever been asked to speak, I have been asked to present for many virtual events, and I go to outlines that I've already created. So I'm not struggling. So I'm not trying to figure out, okay, well, what do I say? I already created an outline, especially if it's a time crunch. Listen, I got an outline. I just got to whip out a presentation, which you should already have templates for. But make it easy on yourself. God doesn't want our businesses to be stressful. All righty. And so this is a way that you can ease the burden of having to create content and just be thankful that you get to create content, because there's people out there that are like, dang, I wish I had a business, but I don't know how. And they don't. And they're not willing to figure it out. But at least you are willing to figure it out, mainly because you were here today. All right. So we are doing okay on time. So I'm going to hop on out of here. Please let me know what your questions or comments or concerns are. I'll be sure to check the chat. And I want to again wish you a very Merry Christmas. And no, next week we will be live. Okay. And so it'll be a Ask Me Anything. And that's what I mean by live. It'll be the Ask Me Anything. And I'm trying to see, because we might be a little bit light, being that it's right before New Year, and I know many people are going to have their children home with them and not want to be distracted, or just out and about with the kids. So we'll see. But if push comes to shove, I will definitely make sure that I show up so that you guys have some answers to some pressing questions, because you guys asked some great questions. You have asked some great questions, and I know not all the answers have been provided, so I can easily go back and answer some of the questions to some of the things that you guys have been asking. So anyways, with that being said, I want to thank y'all so much for joining me today. If you want more, please dive into the Impeccable Impact Mentorship community. And for those of you that are a part of the community, please take advantage of the ambassador opportunity, where you can make $50 for sharing the group with others. Okay. The group is for people who are in ministry, they're for people who are in business, not just coaches, consultants, and service providers. So if it's somebody that could really use this group, please, by all means, share it out. You get quarterly payments where I don't say I reward you, but you get paid $50 for everybody that joins the community. So I want to thank you again so much for joining me today. And I look forward to seeing you either next week or in the Impeccable Impact Mentorship community. Alrighty. So blessings to you. I will see y'all later. Adios.